gentlemen, please give it up for David Haydn Jones and Gil McKinney! See you, fellas.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Thanks for the intro, bud.
Thanks,
you sounded great.
Great. It's going to be a very Hallmark panel today.
What a
very clean.
What a nice room, David. What a nice room.
You know, no double entendres. This is such a cool room.
No, we're keeping it clean today.
Although I feel like I should be doing a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah. TED Talk.
On a sociology.
Are we not?
Yeah, sure. We can. We can do that.
It's a nice room.
It's a really cool room.
I don't know what they do in here.
What happens down here? Is this going to be a mosh pit later? Yeah?
If you can handle it.
Some karaoke baltering. There we go. And maybe dancing and prancing later. Does anyone remember, I don't know where this just came from, it just popped in my head, so let's talk about it. Anyone remember Prancercise?
Yep.
Remember that meme?
Yep.
If you haven't seen Prancercise, run, don't walk to your phone at the end of this panel.
Don't do it now.
Don't do it while the class is in session.
Wow, it is cold in here.
It just came across my thing, and I feel like we all should just be Prancercising more. I feel like we would solve the world's problems.
You know you're setting yourself up for someone to ask you to Prancercise.
Well, I'm going to Prancercise.
There's good space down there.
Well, it's this beautiful woman who designed. You gotta know what it is.
Do it now! Stop talking!
Dance for us, monkey! Get your fez and your red vest and your cymbals and clang them for us! We've paid good money, but I digress. Sorry for my rage, I apologize.
I mean, you're not wrong.
But you're not wrong, is what I heard in the front row. But Prancercise was developed by a lovely, a middle-aged woman, very fit, Southern Californian, blonde, and loves horses, and brought her love of equestrian fine arts, I don't know, whatever, and love of, equestrian dancing, and she just says, we would all be better and healthier if we just walked and strutted and galloped through life with a little prance.
More of a gallop feel.
I don't feel better.
No. Because my dopamine is surging right now. I am so happy.
Something's surging.
Hey, no horse jokes. Okay, now.
Wow.
What is it? Save a horse, ride a cowboy? Is that what it is? It's more in the South. Hey, so listen, this is Gil McKinney. I'm David Haydn Jones.
Yeah.
We're on a show called Supernatural. You haven't heard of it.
Friday, people are the best people. I'm so glad you guys are here for this.
See, that's what I remember from New Orleans last time. The South in general, I gotta say.
Yeah.
I'm not picking favorites here.
Yeah, because you're going to New Jersey in 2 weeks.
Your numbers may be smaller at times, but you're always mighty of voice. So we absolutely appreciate that. You feel
They're usually drunker.
Again,
I'm just kidding.
challenge accepted.
Just a little bit.
Hey, who's been pre-gaming already? Is it too early on a Friday? Oh,
That's somebody held up a cup.
we got some honest people out there. I appreciate that.
Large beer to go.
Large plastic cups.
Well, you are in New Orleans, right?
Yeah, it's true.
It's a slippery slope.
The first drink, I went to this beautiful little bar last time I was here.
Did you say for your first drink?
Yeah, for my first drink.
Okay.
And I was like, she poured, and I'm from LA, where they measure the thing, and it's like $8
so annoying.
And they go, there's your $18 shot. And here I was like,
Yeah.
Appreciate
that's a
that.
single. I was like, hello, New Orleans. what the heck? I like it here. And she's like, oh, and you can take that outside. I was like, what?
Yeah, you can walk around with
Wander
it.
around with it?
They encourage it.
I mean, you can
Yeah,
always
that was
do
a fun night.
It's good.
I had electrolytes the next morning, for sure. That was a Gatorade morning. Just saying. That's a single. Anyways, these panels go well. We can't do a PowerPoint presentation on the statistical analysis of sociology in the South forever. But we can take questions, and the better your questions, the better these things go. So don't be shy, line up. We got a few people already. Shall we take this lovely human over here? Hi.
Hey, so this is more towards David. But
Great, I love it.
I'm not ignoring you.
No, it's okay. My feelings are not hurt. I enjoy it so much.
Listen, give all the questions to Gil. We get paid the same, so it's all good. I love it when DJ's here, because he gets like 80% of the questions.
Yeah, right.
You just sit and smile and be like, you're adorable, DJ. More stories.
So at our last convention in DC, which is where the first time I met you, me and my mom were looking at what shows and movies you'd been on, and the first one we came across was I Bought a Vampire Motorcycle.
This is a good story. Were you on the I Am of the DB? Yes. That's the proper pronunciation.
Yes, it's
I
true.
Am
It's
of
true.
DB.
Sounds
And
legit. Funny.
We're confused, because you're like 12, and it says that you're a cop in that one?
You were 12?
Around?
Speaking to the mic a little bit so people can hear you better.
Yeah, it says that you were about 12 at that time, and you were a cop.
Well, first of all, how do you know my age? And secondly,
My parents'
IMDb.
age.
there you go. And we are in the city of vampires, so there's that. This place is haunted, isn't it? Who believes this place is haunted?
David said someone visited him last night. Some demons.
And it was not in human form. That's what I'm just gonna say. We'll talk about that later.
Mine were just my kids.
Did you send your kids over to prank me?
Yeah.
Like, that's tomorrow, bro. That's tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
So this is my favorite credit, not credit, that I have on my IMDb. Because apparently, I am literally in one of the worst horror movies of all time, and no joke, my friend bought me it on Blu-ray. Apparently it's one of these movies that's so bad, it's good sort of status, like The Room, or other like sort of like slasher fix. So it's called I Bought a Vampire Motorcycle. And apparently David Haydn Jones is plainclothes detective number 1. And like you said, I would have been 12 at the time, shooting in the north of England. And IMDb does have a protocol where you can go clean it up and fix it and make sure that they have credits that are wrong or real there. I am never fixing
not
that
taking
credit. Ever.
You're leaving that one.
I've had people come up to my table who are like major horror buffs. Have you seen it, by the way?
No, I can't find it.
Oh, that's the other thing. It's
Oh, we got it. It's right here. Let's go. Spent the whole panel watching it. Wait, so you're not in it?
I'm not in it.
Okay. All right.
But I love the fact that people think I am in it. But it is, if you get a chance, I think you have to buy bootleg copies. My buddy got like a Blu-ray burn from Germany to send it to my birthday like a couple years
Sounds
ago.
legit.
And we may have ripped a bong, may or may not have.
Right. You don't remember.
I don't know. I don't recall.
Allegedly.
But this is the craziest bad movie you could ever see. And we were trying to find me in the movie, which was maybe something else talking. But I'm not in it.
Has a casting director ever asked you about it?
Oh, never. Because I mean, it's so buried.
Have you lost jobs because of it, or gained?
Well, that'd be a good question.
Is it your first credit on IMDb?
Is it my first
It
credit?
is the first one.
It's my very first credit.
All right. Keep
But then I
it.
think it's followed by,
Hallmark.
no, I didn't do Hallmark until like 10, 15 years ago. But I did do a feature in Toronto, like fresh off the boat. I played Transit Cop #1, and that is real.
Transit cop.
Like it was so fun though. I got to do an action chase through a subway
Amazing.
in Toronto. We shot at nights. It was so great. Someone jumped the turnstile.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, "Hey, you stop!"
You pranced.
How were you like?
Stop!
Get back here.
I need it.
Put your hands up.
My ungulate hooves will. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. A horse isn't technically an ungulate, right? Or are they? Are all cloven-hoofed animals ungulates, or horses are equestrian? They're not cloven.
They're not close.
So what are they? What's the actual?
Equine.
Equine.
They're single stomach.
Equine. Thank you.
Clovens have 4 stomachs.
There you go. Equine. Thanks. I just had to clear that up because it was going to bug me.
I'm glad you did.
Thank you, horse people. Thank you, equines.
Hi.
Hi. I love you, David, but this one is for Gil.
Perfect. Send it out. I need a break from all the prancercising anyway.
Catch your breath.
Hi.
Gil, the first time I saw you was on Once Upon a Time because I came very late to Supernatural.
Right.
And that first shot of you as the prince, I was like, my God, that is the most beautiful man I've ever seen.
You hear that, David? You hear that? I concur. Good question. Oh, wait, is
It was
there?
really a moment to see
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And I wondered for your audition for that, did you have to read anything or did you just walk in and like the light just poured?
That is so sweet. That might be the sweetest question I've ever gotten out of these. I did actually have to read for it, and it wasn't as it wasn't, you know, I was in a small room at a casting studio in Burbank, you know, and I just went in on I think it was like a Wednesday or Thursday evening, and I read 2 or 3 scenes from Once Upon a Time, but they weren't, all it said was he was a new prince on the show. And I think what they did is they gave me, it's been a while, but they gave me sides from one of the other princes from a previous season. So I read those, they put it on tape, it was with the casting director, Veronica Rooney, and then I left, and I felt pretty good about it, but you never know. And they sent it to Vancouver where all the producers were, and then I think it happened pretty quick, like the next day I found out I got it. But the crazy thing was I was like, I'm gonna be a prince on Once Upon a Time. This is cool. I didn't know a whole lot about the show. I mean, I'd seen the pilot and maybe a couple episodes, but somebody reached out to me. Somebody texted me one like a day or two later, and they said, how cool, you got cast as Prince Eric on Once Upon a Time? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I found out like through the internet that I was going to play Prince Eric. Yeah, they just didn't tell me that part for some reason.
Well, did they want to keep it like?
I think they were just trying to keep it quiet. I don't know, but there was something that popped up online that I've been cast as Prince Eric, and a friend of mine saw and reached out to me, and I was like, holy shit, I'm playing Prince Eric? Like, I had no idea. So I don't know, man. You know, it's one of those.
Did they give you fake sides too? Sometimes they do that with.
Yeah, I think they gave me sides from like a
Sometimes what they do is when they're
character.
trying to keep a role really on the deal. That happened with Ketch too. Ketch was totally a totally different guy. They gave me these dummy sides. Did they tell you that you were going to be recurring? Did you know it was possibly recurring?
They did.
Okay,
Yeah. I knew it potentially. It could be more than one episode, which was cool. You know, I think they originally said it was going to be many more than it ended up being. But I appreciate that question, and yeah, that moment where I came down the staircase was like, I was like, just don't fall, just don't fall, just don't fall. I was so nervous, you know, but it was cool, and that was all in a big soundstage, and it was just like all green screen, you know. But then, you know, the background actors everywhere, and then we did the whole dance, and I did a little dance. Yes, we rehearsed prior to.
Did you have a little like choreography day?
Yeah, we had a choreography day, and I you know, did my first scene while dancing, and you know, it was challenging. I wasn't like, you know, it wasn't over the top dancing, but yeah, pretty much. But still, like to be able to like deliver the lines and then, you know, find the lens and all that kind of stuff, and kind of like a roundabout situation. Cameras just going around and around us, you know. And it was a blast. I had so much fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My question? What a nice compliment. That's beautiful. My prince. Did you have to call you?
My prince.
Did you do any horse riding in that show?
Any horse riding? No, unfortunately I did not. I don't think I've ever gotten to ride a horse on camera. It sounds weird when you say it like that.
It sounds dirty. I don't know why. It sounds dirtier.
No, I grew up in Southeast Texas, and like I'm very comfortable in the back of a horse, and yeah, and it's something that I want to do so bad, is like to get to do like a Western where I get to ride a horse and you know, have a scraggly beard and, you know, and a gun.
Has every like dude's dream to at least have like a one Western.
Right.
You have the horror though. You have a horror.
The horror?
Horror.
Oh, yes.
Horror.
I've
You have the horror.
I've done a few horrors.
Done a horror movie.
Yeah, well, you did the monkey motorcycle thing. Everybody knows you from that.
I know.
Vampire.
It's a fun fact about this movie. It literally was clearly directed, like 2 directors quit on the movie too, and you can tell. Like it has 3 styles, like totally shot totally differently, and they just change randomly throughout the movie. There's also a 3-minute sequence with literally a talking piece of poop in a toilet. Even before the poop emoji.
Yeah, it's groundbreaking.
It was groundbreaking at the time. Yeah. Henson Studios, some of its best work. I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah, I heard he was difficult to work with.
And like, me and my buddy are a little high, and we're like, what is happening? Is the poop really talking to us right now? It's so trippy. But you've done horror.
Yes, I've done a handful of those for
Never
sure.
done a Western.
Never done a Western. I'd love to. One
I
day.
think everybody.
One day.
Hi.
Hi. So Gil, we're gonna fluff your ego a little bit and ask you another question.
Fluff away.
Did she say fluff or pump?
Fluff. Did I hear fluff? I was
fluff.
thinking horror movie, so that
Doesn't matter.
So
Yeah, sorry.
this is my first convention, so I apologize if this question's been asked before. But you just were on a little show called The Winchesters, reprising your role, and I was just wondering how that experience was for you.
Wow, it was a long time coming. It was nerve-wracking. It was exciting. As you guys well know, I did like 2 episodes of Supernatural, season 8, season 9, and then I started getting involved with all this, which has just been life-changing and amazing. But for years, I was hoping that Henry would get to come back. I thought there was some more story to tell, but I'm not in the writers' room, and for whatever reason, it didn't on Supernatural. But when Jensen reached out to me about this, I was just like, I was floored. Before he reached out to me, Elena Huffman texted me one day. It's weird how like you hear about stuff from other people, but Elena Huffman, who played Abaddon, I hadn't talked to her in a couple of years. She texted me and said, "Hey, are you doing the Winchesters?" And I'm like, I know of it, but no one has reached out. And she said, "Because your name is in the script." And I was like, "Oh, are you kidding me? Like that's never happened before." And so I was like, "Send me the sides right now. I want to see this." So she sent me the sides, and it was, it said Henry Winchester, played by Gil McKinney. But so nobody had called me or let me know anything, and so I called my manager, and I'm like, "Should we play cool? Should we play cool? Should we reach out? I don't know. Let's play cool. Let's play cool. It's gonna be fine."
Well, too, the politics, it's not happening until it's happening.
Exactly.
You know that, yeah.
I knew they were casting, as those of you who've seen it know, in the pilot, it was just the voiceover, right? So anyway, cut to a month or 2 later, Jensen reaches out to me to talk about it and ask me if I want to do it, and I'm like, "Oh, obviously." But thank you for asking, and and then a few months after that, I'm flying here to New Orleans. It's just here a few days, stepped off the van at the sound stages, and first people I see and meet are Meg and Drake, and it was so cool, and they were so sweet. I was so nervous. I found out later they were nervous to meet me. I'm like, what? I mean, everybody wants to do a good job, and I just knew how important it was. I knew I had one scene, and it was this, this reunion, and it took us, a few hours to shoot it, and it was very taxing. I left work very tired that night because there was a lot going on in me, and but it was just awesome. And Richard Speight directed the episode. I couldn't have dreamed of a better scenario, and yeah, I was very happy with the way it turned out. I mean, we're talking about 10 years later, like 10 years later, and yeah, I felt like I looked like Henry still, maybe 10 years and 20 or so pounds heavier, but kids, what are you gonna do, right? But yeah, it was a blast. It was so much fun, and I pray that it gets to keep going. It's out of my hands, but originally they had thought they were going to get a full order of episodes, and I know that Robbie Thompson told me they had more to do with Henry down the road. So we'll see what happens. But thank you for that question.
Thank you so much.
And you will always have the Winchester name, so that's legacy. That's legacy blood.
Yeah,
so
I have it tattooed on my butt.
Oh, that.
Yeah, and
Picture it didn't
Has
happen.
your horse seen it?
I have that men of letters right here. That's my horse seen it?
Your horse.
Obviously.
Your equine friend, right? Equine. Equestrian. See? I'm doing all the etymology. Hey, Amanda, what's happening?
Hi.
Hi.
So, Gil, you're just gonna get a tramp stamp?
Yeah, but it's men of letters tramp stamp, so it's cool, right?
My
It's
question,
like a bullseye.
my question for you guys is if you could pick any of the following 3 shows to star in, of Law and Order, The Walking Dead, or 911, which would you pick and why?
Pick one of those 3. One order.
To be in? I would do Walking Dead.
I do Law and Order.
Oh yeah, of course.
I do Law and Order. Yeah, but yeah, go. Walking Dead. That would be mine.
You're I finally saw the Murdoch mystery thing.
Yeah. No, I love courtroom stuff, courtroom dramas, and true crime especially. But this is gonna sound terrible, but I'm like, which one would I make the most money on? Law and Order, for sure. How long has that show been on? I mean, come on. No, that would be fun. That's another thing I really want to do is get to do like a courtroom drama kind of thing. Yeah, but Walking Dead would be amazing too. That would be really dirty. Really dirty.
No
Gritty.
one for Angela Bassett?
Bloody.
Is that shit in North Carolina? Is that right?
Yeah, well, it was in Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Georgia?
It was, Walking Dead was in Atlanta right now. Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Denai Guerrero are actually filming in my backyard in New Jersey. Filming a spin-off.
Literally in your backyard? That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I would love to do monster work. I would love to walk funny and just go eat someone's face.
You know it's hot. You know it's hot in Atlanta.
Phrasing.
Super hot there.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. You know this. My forehead is a barometer for humidity. It gets so moist so
Yeah.
fast. I walk out the door and it's like shiny McForehead tin.
Yeah.
And but I feel like if I was in monster makeup with long black hair,
Be
like
cool.
the Ring style or the Grudge.
Just lean into
Just all
it.
that weird, just creepy crawling stuff.
Yeah. Just
Maybe a little
own the
Francis eyes
sweat.
thrown in. I don't know what the monsters would do, but I would love to play a human that got turned into a monster. What are you laughing at?
I was trying to think of something. I got nothing. Yeah, no, absolutely.
That's what you did. You're just not for this room. That's okay. For Gil's head only. Good.
I would love that for you too. Yeah, human turned into monster. I feel like I've played not like Walking Dead, but something kind of like that. I don't know. Like when you get possessed. I've done that a couple times.
Yeah, you had to do possession.
the Grudge 3.
Oh, that's right. You were in the Grudge.
Yeah, the Grudge 3, and I just did a little indie movie during COVID. I shot a little indie in Canada called Metamorphosis, and it's a low budget indie. It's a slow burn, but it's pretty cool. If you guys want to check that out, and my character gets sick and shit gets real weird.
Is this the one where you were in the prosthetic suit? Or no, you had to have the hairy chest? What was it?
No, I didn't.
You had to have the
I've just been so many prosthetics.
Full merkin?
No, they. In Metamorphosis,
Some people know what a merkin is. Good.
In Metamorphosis, they did make me a prosthetic piece. Well, no, you're close. It's the right movie, but no, I didn't have to pee out of it. But no, they made me this thing because toward the end of the movie, I'm running around the woods naked. So they made me a prosthetic penis. And I was like, I'm probably not gonna wear that. Don't spend money on that. I was like,
I'd wear it home.
I'm mad I didn't take it home with me.
I'm wearing it right now.
I think I was worried that one of my kids would find it.
You're also like, can I get the Boogie Nights Model 2, please? If we're going prosthetic, I'll have what Mark Wahlberg's having, please.
It was decent looking, but it was like which takes away from the overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just ask any Cro-Magnon man. They're like, it's much bigger, I promise.
It looked like a caveman's
Bush
dick.
yeah.
I was like, this is disgusting. I'm not wearing this.
This is why manscaping happened. Just give you that extra. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no.
I'm so sorry. I thought it was just me and Gil there for a second. I thought we were just sharing actor tips. And I realized we were actually in an auditorium full of people.
Did I tell you the pee story? Is that why you asked me about the pee?
Who you told it on stage?
That I peed my pants?
Yeah.
I told that on stage?
I'm sure there's.
I think I just did again.
Do you have?
Probably.
Krista?
Yeah.
Did you?
Probably.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think that's the one you were missing. You were gone 1 week, right?
I don't go to all of them.
You don't? I feel like you do.
You're very good.
No, they wanted to rig this, like, there's a scene where my body loses its faculties and I'm supposed to urinate on myself.
And Mr. Method said, I'll do it just fine.
Harvey Keitel over here.
You're like, Marathon Man, have you seen it?
They were shocked. Like the first assistant director was like, "What is happening? This is not okay." And I was like, "Bro, I'm not." They wanted to rig this whole thing. It was like a whole system, and I was like, "Just give me 5 bottles of water. I can knock this out in 5 minutes. Let's go."
Listen, and any doctors or nurses in the house, everyone knows that urine is sterile until it sits on a surface. And then that's when the bacteria forms. But you can drink right out of his wiener right over there. I mean,
Maybe you can.
just do a Mahatma Gandhi, you know, nice, sturdy pint.
What? Anyhow, so we did 2 takes. Went down one leg and then went down the other. Took off the pants.
Did you control it knowing there was going to have another take? Or
Yeah,
you just kept drinking?
Well, no, that's a great question. I think I kept drinking. I don't think I was able to stop once I started.
Well, that's what I want.
Yeah, I know. But they were like, he's going again. He's going again. They're like, this is the best work you've done on this film. And I look over at the wardrobe girl, and she just looks very concerned.
I'm so impressed.
And I was like, don't worry. You're not washing these. I'm going to wash these.
Chapter 2 is
Don't
even
want
better.
her by that point.
Gosh, I hope my mom doesn't watch this one.
Oh my God.
Anyhow.
That's like, that deserves the Citizen Game slow clap. That's so good. So good. And listen, there, yes. Now stand on your feet for Gil McKinney's urinary tract.
Hang on.
Hey man, I prancercise.
What do you got?
I'm so impressed. So I'm the guy with the weak bladder on the plane. So I really dehydrate. They say, oh, hydrate for the plane. I was like, oh, keep it. I'm like, I go to the bathroom 4 times on the plane if I hydrate too much. So I dehydrate. So then when COVID hit, I was getting out of LA. I was with my woman at the time and my kid. We were going to Colorado because LA was getting weird. This is the height of COVID, and we knew they were going to prevent people from leaving. So we're like, we got the H out of town. And this is when the height of the fear was at, right? Early spring.
Was too much of a
2020. And so we're doing a road trip. We're doing Colorado, all straight. And like she didn't even want me to stop for gas. I was putting on gloves, hand sanitizer, double mask, just to put in gas. So I got myself a Depend undergarment.
And we lost Gil.
Yes.
Because Trucker Dave, I was gonna go like the astronaut who was like the stalker and she wore the astronaut diaper and she was gonna go kill her lover in the love triangle. I was like, well, I'm gonna go astronaut diaper style. I'm doing it. I'm gonna see if I can do it in my pants.
Did you tell your wife?
Oh yeah. No, there's pictures of me modeling them. Just like, this felt so good. I got the really like low profile gray.
We got them. They're right here.
Let's go to the cameras. Well, and, you know, like it's so weird. You go to the aisle, the undergarment aisle at Rite Aid, and of course they're all hot models, like just in their like nice low profile Depend undergarment skivvies. I was like, well, I got to take a picture like that. I went and got my abs airbrushed. All oiled up.
Yeah, I get it.
From a
man.
journey.
Been there.
I'm documenting this. And here's the funny thing. 15 hours on the road, I could not go in the thing.
Stage fright? Or you just didn't need to go?
Just, no. I mean, the guy who's 4 times on the plane could not go in the undergarment. Like, what's happening there?
That's
Like,
weird.
I just couldn't release. This is too much information.
Did you, oh wait.
I forgot they're here. I'm just chatting with my buddy over here like twice a day. I'll just go in my pants anytime you want.
Did you feel like you needed to go?
I did.
It just wouldn't go.
But my brain switched it off. It just wouldn't allow.
Stage fright.
Just, I think it was a different form of stage fright, yeah. So there you go. Gil McKinney can pee his pants twice in half an hour. Dave Hayden Jones cannot in 15 hours. We've all learned something here today.
Quality content I'm here for.
You're welcome, or I apologize.
Got our video camera out. Like, oh shit, this is good.
Don't forget, you did sign your waivers for this panel, but also there is helpful peer support and psychological support, like flyers on the way out of the panel, if you need group help. Hi, moving on.
Hi. In an attempt to ask you guys a question that maybe will embarrass you, this is for David. Did you know when you auditioned that Catch was supposed to be English?
Did I know Catch was supposed to be English?
Yes.
Yes, so actually, when I was telling someone this at my table, who's watched The Boys here? Big fans of The Boys too, I assume? So Catch obviously came on the scene before The Boys, and they had actually asked him to be a rugged motorcycle guy, full beard. I had like, my hair was all messy, and I was doing a Cockney. Yeah, sort of an East End Cockney, you know, bloke like this, right? And you talking like this, and fucking you fucking punk, you cunt. Yeah, he's a wanker. And so my first audition was on tape for that, and then I didn't hear anything for 2 weeks, and then they're like, you have a callback, but we're changing the whole thing up. And then my final callback, they said, we want him to be a very posh Oxford, Cambridge Englishman, so very posh received pronunciation. And we want him to be the toffee-nosed Brit, the James Bond of the supernatural universe. So I had, as I've said before, my Uncle Dave, who is literally one of the last Englishmen on the planet, you know, who's literally a chinwagger. He's like, yes, right. Good. Oh, quite, indeed. No, like Oxford, Cambridge to the max. So I had him, and then I had Roger Moore's James Bond as a reference point, who has sort of the received pronunciation, but he's sort of slightly Americanized, sort of taking the super posh edge off it. So between those two guys and a bit of the Star Wars baddies and David Lean baddies I had in my repertoire, yeah, so I was shooting all night. Actually, I had to go I got in my tuxedo and went to my final audition. It was just me in a room on tape. And I just literally, before I went in the room, was just like, said to myself, Bond, James Bond. And walked in, and then I thought I was only going to do like 3 episodes, and then, you know, got a redemption arc, sort of ish. Yeah. Season 4 and season 15. So again, just incredible gift that just kept on going, and then by season 12 it was just like, when am I going to die? When am I going to die? When am I going to die? And you just flip into the end. To be continued, and I'm speaking the last line. Yes. So that's how it all developed. That was that's how it turned into sort of a very posh guy.
Is he one of your favorite characters? I mean, I know you've worked a lot. Is he like one of your...
Beyond.
Yeah.
Because...
So cool.
You know, just so many challenges and stuff that scared the shit out of me,
right.
You know, and just to make it authentic for me, if I could believe it for me. Like I don't know if you've heard this, but like on season 12, no one knew who I was, so I just showed up as in my accent for the whole time on set for season 12. Yeah. And the crew had a bet on whether I was actually English or not, because I I kept it up like 99% of the time, but late at night, especially hanging out with Canadian bros.
Yeah.
Like, when you're in Texas, when you
Sure,
go back,
that's
like
a
your draw
challenge.
comes
Yeah,
back.
of course.
So I'm, speaking with the crew like this, but it's now 3 a.m. and we've got all these nice Canadian crew up there from Alberta and Saskatchewan. Where I'm from, it's like, oh yeah, fucking rates, buddy. Yeah, lad, we're gonna put the lights over there, boy. And I was like, yes. So anyways, when we go get a 2-4 later, I go, no, what have you said? No, I'm very good at your Canadian accent now. It's not good. So yeah, apparently they had a pot. They had a bet, like, is he or isn't he? It was really fun last day.
I love it.
Hi.
Hello. My question is, if you could assign each other any role, what would it be?
Assign each other any role?
Yeah, just cast each other.
Fluffer?
Yeah, thank you. That's a nice thing you've ever said to me.
Fetch me the piss boy! History of the world? Get me a bucket!
Oh, man.
No, honestly though, like I would love to see you seriously as a hard-boiled detective. I would love to give you your dream of being in like a cool cop period procedural. Oh, and even better, a dick. No, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. No, that's.
Wouldn't you love that with the hat?
Yeah,
the whole
that's the
thing?
dream.
That'd be your dream.
I've been obsessed with the new Perry Mason on HBO. Like that. Oh my gosh, Matthew Rhys is like so good, so cool.
Do you know Matthew Rhys's dad is friends with my dad?
No,
They went to the same high school together. Primary
He's
school.
well.
He's
Matthew Rhys is well.
very well.
Yeah,
He's a Northern Whaler,
Right.
like my dad was. So dad is friends with Matthew Rhys's.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
What's the difference between the Northern Welsh and the Southern?
Well, the southern Wales is more of an English accent, while the Northern Wales has a much more sing-song accent like this. It has got more of the Gael and the Celt. So it's a bit of a sing-songy thing, like north of Snowdonia. Yeah.
He's so good. I love it.
The thing with Welsh is the language is absolutely mad.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen all the letters put together? So there's a hint of Irish, but then there's sing-songy and a bit of Scottish, so it all merged. But there's the longest town in the world name. With the LLY and like the Bimea number 7, but it's Llanfairpwll Gwyngyll Gogerydd Wynthrob Fantasilio Gogogoch. And if you look that up, it's wild.
Yeah.
So you get your Welsh card when you can pronounce that correctly. Yeah, that was pretty fun. It's a mad language though, absolutely daffy.
Wow. Man,
Give me one.
You'd be an amazing Bond.
Oh, terrible.
No, you would. I saw you this morning walk in. I watched the staged presentation they did recently. They aired on PBS of Les Mis, and it's so good. And I saw you this morning, and I was like, man, it kind of looks like you could be a great Jean Valjean or Javert, either one.
2, 4, 6,
Yes.
1. Javert. I see you there. Do you remember Cole Wilkinson? I was doing it. Of
course.
I used to, but Cole is so over the top when you go back and look at him. He's like, well, I see you now before we go down. And have you ever heard him? Did you remember his album of like when he did his hits?
No.
Have you heard him sing Man of La Mancha? Okay,
No.
back in the green room, it was like, I'll impersonate a man. It's like, easy. It's like,
Come down.
I am one Don Quixote, the man of the Easy. He's so big. I love it though.
Yeah, he commits.
He commits. Oh my god. You know what I'd love to do? I would love to do a parody of Les Mis imitating Cole Wilkinson.
Yeah,
Do a meta version. Thanks for your question. We are now cast. Hello.
Hi.
Is that Jade?
Yeah.
Hi, Jade.
Hi.
Practicing names.
My question is, how do you think you would die in a horror movie?
Is this for David?
For me? For both of us.
For both of you.
I've died a few times in horror movies. Usually it's a throat rip. You know, for some reason they like to rip my throat.
Did you get your wiener cut off? Your big ass fake wiener?
Yeah. Just laying on the ground.
There it is.
Oh, they cut his wiener off.
Excuse me, I shall not use the prosthetic on my final take.
Oh man. Like you said in a horror movie? How to Die?
Horror.
Horror. Man, yeah. I've died a few times in horror movies. Usually it's very bloody and gross.
I mean,
and
I guess technically Supernatural is horror genre, right? Would you say? Ish? The flavor, the
Yeah.
soupçon. I mean, obviously I got my heart ripped out. That was really fun, literally and figuratively. I would love to do a scene where, like, my appendages were all ripped off in some grisly fashion.
Oh, I'd love that for you too. Can I take my wish for you?
Gil McKinney to Dave Haydn Jones, my wish for you.
Your appendages ripped off.
One by one.
One by one.
Like a cricket.
You get 4 horses.
Oh, 4 horses.
Tie an arm and I like to eat.
God. And you would be the
And
prince.
then-
You would be the prince overseas.
Yes.
Off with his legs, off with his arms. And then I shall sodomize him till the cows come home. Not the equines though. Not to be confused with ungulates.
You can prancercise to
I
death.
would prance. Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah, that's the end. Drop the mic. Here the
Hey, the boys are back.
fellas. Thank
Just
you.
in time.
That was so